welcome to the podcast.
Hey, howdy ho.
Audio check done, bitches. Okay, sorry.
Bitch.
Hey guys, welcome to just another nerdy podcast, or Jump. If you don't know, we stream live on YouTube every Wednesday around noonish. Today, specifically, we hit it on point. It's crazy.
We did it, guys. Look at us go.
We fucking did it. Three of us goofballs. You were early because you were with me the whole day. Normally, we did a GameStop trip. I was going to invite you, but then I was like, oh shit, we're in Newton already.
Normally, I'm either 20 minutes early and I chill outside, or I'm like 10 minutes late.
Yeah, so we're here on time at noon. But yeah, you can also download us into your pocket on iTunes and Google Play. So Android and Apple. Yeah, Apple users, you have no fucking excuse not to put a little nerdy in your pocket. So download us. Check us out, guys.
I hate you so much.
Doesn't bother me.
Links are in the description down below for everything. So feel free to hit us up on our social media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Share us with your goddamn friends. Also, if you tweet us, or you like us, or if you follow us on Twitter, or if you tweet at us, or if you retweet one of our tweets, you will be recognized. It will pop up in the video. So feel free. Is Chris with us today? I don't see Chris at all.
Do we have anyone? Or are we just talking to the air right now?
We might be talking to the air right now.
Oh, well.
Talking to our live, or our nerdy pocket people. Is that, nerdy pocket people. They're like our Pokemon. Every time we get a new subscriber, it's Jim Pokemon just pops up.
That'd be hilarious.
You collected Chris Goodrich. Like,
you collected your sister.
Oh shit.
Well, what a
Jim Pokemon.
This isn't the Pokemon I want to do it.
These Pokemon suck.
There he is. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey, howdy ho.
How you doing, mate? You look like you've been drugged through the mud today.
He was part of an attempted murder.
No, I just didn't sleep very well, but I'm feeling alright.
Oh, okay, good. What is...
I didn't not sleep. Oh,
attempted murder. Oh.
Because a group of more than 3 crows is a murder.
Yeah, so it's attempted because only 2. The third one didn't fucking show up.
Yeah.
How ironic would that have been if Tommy had not shown up today?
That would have been pretty great.
That would have been awesome. Oh. Yeah, so, what have you guys been up to this week? Have you guys done anything interesting?
No.
No?
My life is really boring.
I've been prepping for Tales of the Loop.
What is Tales of the Loop?
Did you invite me to that?
No.
I think you or Multiverse invited me to that.
So it's a new tabletop that Steven, who owns Multiverse, backed on Kickstarter. So the campaign we're playing right now, you roleplay as a child from ages 11 to 16, or 11 to 15. Once you age up to 16, you're done with that character and you got to make a new one. But it takes place in 1985 Grinnell right now, the campaign we're doing. Except it's kind of an alternate Grinnell, so robots are a thing. Like, the government discovered robotics and they built robots and stuff. And so, pretty much, this will be our 3rd session this Thursday.
I'm still listening, I promise.
This will be our third session on Thursday, but we're pretty much going to be like a Scooby Gang, where there's going to be some kind of mystery our kids are going to have to solve.
Oh.
It's pretty neat. That sounds fun.
And I'm pretty much role-playing myself, because I'm role-playing a super dorky, geeky comic book nerd.
The fucking loser.
I'm role-playing a kid that I would have killed when I was younger, because my kid is obsessed with comic books, and as a gift, my grandfather bought me Action Comics #1, and so my kid just carries it around and jams it in his backpack and just carries it around. Now, if I was that kid, I'd have killed myself, because Action Comics #1 is like a $9,000 comic book.
It's very expensive comic book.
Chris says, Drizzt, he had another late night looking for videos of Owen Wilson crying. Is that what you've just been doing this entire week? You just been looking for...
I've been trying.
I haven't found it.
So
where is it?
It has to exist.
We're gonna find him on the news like 6 months later. Like a pic. Can you imagine a fucking mugshot of you? Like a big old smile on your face.
He traveled over there and like hit Owen Wilson to make him weep. Weep, damn it, weep. Get out of my house.
Drizzt Nathaniel Blue Davidson of Brooklyn was caught hurting Owen Wilson's children in an attempt to make him cry. His words were, "Cry for the goddamn camera, you son of a bitch. Don't you say oh wow to me, you son of a bitch."
I would be so pissed.
I'm about to hit you again. Wow.
Wow. It's what an experience. Wow.
Fuck you. It's kind of like that.
It only makes me stronger.
It's kind of like that episode of Family Guy where Will Ferrell's on TV and he tells a terrible joke and Stewie flies all the way down there, buys a step stool, stands on top of it, and punches him in the face.
It's not funny.
Like, what the hell?
That's one way to deal with Will Ferrell.
Oh shit!
I prefer him in sketch comedy. Honestly, his movies are a little too much.
I don't know. I love him in Step Brothers. That's about it.
I like the fact that he can say literally anything in the most ridiculous manner, and that man can hold the straightest face.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that is the epitome of brilliant acting, is to be able to say shit. Like, I mean, to be able to play Ricky Bobby for however many months he did, and like not crack up,
Not break down, right?
Like even the shots that they got, like if those were the only shots that they got,
if I had to look at
a miracle. Like,
if I had to look at the camera once and be like, "Mom, I'm going fast," I just cracked up. Like,
or like the cowbell skit on SNL.
Yeah, he did it live.
That is one of the greatest SNL sketches of all time.
Need more cowbell.
Jimmy Fallon can't keep a straight face for fucking words.
No, he can't.
One of my favorite sketches, Justin Timberlake was hosting, and they got Jimmy Fallon back on the show, and Jimmy Fallon was actually playing Justin Timberlake, and they were doing like a Family Feud sketch, and it was hilarious.
I love Will Ferrell though. Like that's why I like his movies, is because that man can. Because as someone who does acting and stuff from time to time,
I don't know.
I have a big problem keeping a straight face.
I've seen most of his movies. He has a couple bad ones, and I thought they couldn't get any worse. And then he had a Netflix exclusive movie come out called Casa de Mi Padre.
Oh yeah.
Never
watched it.
I was like,
because it's all subtitles, isn't it?
I don't remember. It's been years ago.
That's how they advertised it.
But
I'm pretty sure most of it's in bad Spanish.
I was like, it's Will Ferrell. Clicked on it, and then like after watching it, I was like, I'm never getting that time back.
You know what? Everyone trashes on the new Adam Sandler Netflix movies, but I have a weird love for those movies. Like The Ridiculous Six. I loved it.
I was just about to trash that movie.
I fucking loved that movie.
Everyone
hates that movie.
I hate Adam Sandler now. Ever since he did Click, like his movies have just gone downhill.
Click was so good!
No, like I love Click, but since then, like Grown Ups, they advertised Grown Ups like it was gonna be the funniest movie you've ever seen.
Grown Ups 1, I enjoy. Grown Ups 2 is such a heaping pile of steaming garbage.
There was no business.
Shaq stood out as the top contender from that movie. Like, Shaq was fantastic in that movie. That's all I can say about that movie is Shaq was good. Everything else, fuck that movie.
Shaq has been in more than one of Adam Sandler's movies.
Mm-hmm.
What other movies has he done?
I think it was called, Blend or something. Basically, Adam Sandler's wife died, and he's dating Drew Barrymore again. Fucking shocker, right?
Yeah. Drew Barrymore needs a co-star that makes sense, so she dates Adam Sandler.
Exactly.
I mean, she's a little bit weird looking. He's a little bit weird looking. So
because she wasn't a teacher.
She's doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
She's doing that Santa Clarina diet or whatever.
Show. I personally don't like that series. It's
Timothy Oliphant's her husband, and that I immediately didn't watch it because of that.
I love Timothy Oliphant, but like I watched the first 3 episodes and I was like, all right, I'm not into dudes, but he's way too attractive to be with Drew Barrymore. Like, what? Yeah. How does that goofy ass lady?
She's not saving troubled kids in this movie, so why should I give a shit?
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I started this week, and I named the episode Danger J. Robinson, just so I could mention it for like a minute. But I started the new Lost in Space.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It is.
I need to
I watched
watch
that like about 3 weeks after it came out. It was pretty damn
Finish
good.
it, and then watch Altered Carbon. I loved Altered Carbon.
Fuck
It's so good.
That show was amazing.
So I'd never seen it, and then my buddy's like, the dude has a samurai sword. And it sounds kind of dumb, but I was like, all right, sold. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm fucking nerd.
So then
you weeby piece of shit.
I watched the
fucking kidding me. Carry on.
Got him in.
I watched the first episode, and I was like, all right, that was all right. And then I watched episode 2, and it gets a little better. I was like, all right, it's a pretty good show. And then episode 3, I was like, this is damn good.
The plot chickens really fast on that show.
So they say that, like, the reason why I haven't watched it yet is because they said, like, it's good, and especially if you like Blade Runner. And I'm like, I do like Blade Runner, but I also have trouble watching things that are like, look, we're this thing.
They never say they're a certain thing. They're not trying to be anything. It's really original, and it kind of hurts your brain.
Mm-hmm.
But in a good way.
I don't know if I'll be able to handle that.
The show was so good, I'm afraid to read the book. People say the book's good, but I'm like, I don't want it to ruin the show for me.
I have a good like I really have a good time, and this is how I like to do things. I like to watch the media content first and then read the book.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like, especially for what was it? Yeah, it was Hitchhiker's Guide. I watched the movie and I was like, that movie was great. And then I read the book and I'm like, the book's so amazing. And I'm like, I was happy twice there.
Yeah, I loved both of them. And then I found out there's an old Britain did Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's a TV series, and they got it on Hulu.
Yeah.
And still have Martin Freeman.
No.
Damn.
I went back.
Well, it was an old one.
No, it was an older one. I rewatched it. It's not bad. I still prefer the movie. Like,
have you guys seen Dirk Gently? Oh man, that's on Hulu.
What?
So there's Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, which is a book written by the same guy, Douglas Adams, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the series.
Yeah. Dirk Gently.
Oh. Dirk Gently.
I thought you said Dirt. I was like, what an interesting name.
Gently.
When I thought it was Dirt, I was like, I should check this out.
And so the book, I could not read. I fucking tried. I just couldn't read it. What does he say? Tommy is the most nerdy out of the three of you guys. Good! Chris!
I don't know, Chris. I'd call him a dork.
We already established I'm a weeb. What do you mean, dork?
What is a fucking weeb anyways? I've heard this.
Weeaboo.
What is okay?
It's a term. It's just another term.
Didn't you tell me this last week?
Yeah,
it's like a taku, but more disgraceful.
We're not gonna get into. We shouldn't go.
It's basically you're an otaku, but you're only obsessed with the fucking trash.
You're an Inception. We're about to come do last week's podcast again.
Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, though, so Dirk Gently is a holistic detective, which means he looks at the interconnectivity of things. He's like, everything is connected, and then he just connects. Like he goes in and finds a way to connect it all.
So it's exciting.
Figure out what it is.
So like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. So he's more like, it just like shit happens to him, and there's like mistake. Like there's a chick in there who can't be killed, and what she does, she's a holistic assassin. So she'll like there was one time where the guy that she was with, kind of her Doctor Who partner almost, was like, her companion was like, you can't just go around and kill people, and she's like, yeah, I can, and he goes, he's like, no. Don't kill that guy. And she goes to kill him. He's like, stop. And she's like, don't tell me what to do. And then that guy gets hit by a fucking car. And he's like, oh no. And she's like, see, he's supposed to be dead. And then they watched the news like a couple episodes later, and I found out like that guy had a sex dungeon in his basement and a whole bunch of people kidnapped down there.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, I feel like I need to kill him when she sees him. So she's a holistic assassin. So there's all sorts of this weird shit. And there's last season, season 2, was fucking amazing. Like, they went to an alternate reality and there's pink-haired people with scissor swords, and you're like, what the fuck am I watching? But it starts to make sense at the end, and you're like, this is so good. Elijah Wood is Dirk Gently's companion.
I love Elijah Wood.
Awesome.
And
I kind of want to watch it.
It's so good. It's just so season 1's on Hulu, and I think season 2 will be on pretty soon. But if you haven't watched, I binged Preacher and Dirk Gently, one right after another. Was super thrilled, and then I watched.
It was a good time.
I still haven't.
I watched
seen
2
Preacher.
episodes of Stan Against Evil, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I should have watched that one first because I was like, look, I love the guy who plays Dr. Cox in Scrubs, and he's the lead. It's very Evil Dead, but it's even campier.
I was gonna say I've been watching Ash versus the Evil Dead, and I've been enjoying it a lot because I love those movies.
I
love them. Army of Darkness is easily one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's just total camp. Like, I came into it thinking it was going to be a serious, like, horror film, and then it's like a campy, amazing...
Yeah, but if you watch Evil Dead and not The Evil Dead is a much darker, a lot more serious take on the story of Evil Dead. Like, what if it wasn't cheesy as shit? Is the 2013 remake of Evil Dead, and it's just like...
Yeah, I was like, oh my god,
I can't. Like,
Jesus.
I saw like bits of that, and I was like,
did you see the tongue box cutter?
Yep. That's what told me I will never watch that movie ever in my entire life. When she goes,
bloodier than I thought it was.
And then it splits, and then it does, and I was like, I'm out.
I watched that.
I'm 100% out.
I'm tapping out.
I watched that trailer in my films club when I was in high school, and you guys know Kevin. We've talked about Kevin.
Yeah.
Me and Kevin, we were sitting in the back of the class, and just without any kind of communication, we both just yell, hot, right after she splits her tongue and does the thing. And got all of the weird looks from everybody, including the teacher who teaches psychology.
Oh my god.
So he was worried. It was fun. Have either of you watched The Magicians?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I really want to.
I love that fucking series.
It gets
better.
It's one of those shows that gets better. It starts off, it's a sci-fi original show, so at first I was like, oh, is this going to be like their terrible, cheesy movies they put out?
It's the only good thing I've seen come out of sci-fi in at least a decade.
Merlin. I really enjoy the Expanse. Like, so the first season of Expanse was really fun. The second was good. I think I'm on the third right now. And the third is getting crazy as shit. They did my favorite thing that I love. Okay, so Young Justice, right? Yeah. Season 1 ends. Season 2 is a 5-year jump. And The Expanse, halfway through season 3 ends. Season 4 starts and it's a 6-month jump, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Some time passed.
That's my favorite. I love when they do huge jumps, and you're like trying, and then the episode or the season spends like a lot of time filling in the gaps and shit. Like,
Young Justice did that so well.
Yeah, that was one of the best executions. The Expanse is doing an okay job. Young Justice killed it when they did that 5-year jump. That was exactly what that show needed. And it was on point. I'm hoping they do the same thing for season 3.
Last of Us did that really well in their campaign story.
Yeah.
With the seasons, like you live 2 weeks of their life, and then they're like, it's fall now.
That's kind of
some time passes.
Yeah. So the next Last of Us 2. So they were talking about the gameplay trailer, and they say between the story trailer portion, where like the 2 girls are dancing in the church, to right when you see her playing the game, that's a year jump.
Damn.
And something causes Ellie to fucking become like this hateful killer, and I'm thinking that girl who kisses her dies.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna get brutally murdered, because everyone's like, oh, it's gotta be Joel, that's where the stakes are gonna be. I'm like, they're not gonna kill Joel. Like, if they do, fucking good on them. And if if they're gonna do it,
if they kill Joel, I will lose my I'll be like, wow,
they're gonna do it at the end.
Yeah.
If they
do it at the beginning,
I would not see it coming.
If they do it at the beginning, bravo. Like,
flashback to like E3 last year when they first had the cinematic trailer for Last of Us 2. It's Ellie playing the guitar and Joel's just walking through the house looking at the fucking eviscerated corpses of these dudes. Just it cuts to her singing and strumming the guitar. Cut back to Joel. He sees a guy with a fucking knife in his eye leaned up against the wall. More guitar strumming. This dude's got his head bashed in with a bowling ball. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
He's just looking around, and Elliot looks up, and then she's like, I've got to kill them all or something. And I was like, what the fuck?
Awesome.
But you don't understand the hype, though, because The Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time.
The Last of Us is amazing.
And it doesn't nerf the feels, man.
No.
You want to cry 5 minutes in.
Dude, I cried in that part where she sees a giraffe for the first time. Like,
There's-
what?
there's
it's
like-
a giraffe, look at it.
Probably 10 moments in that whole game that make you bawl each time.
Oh yeah, easily. At
Like-
least bring tears to your eyes.
When
Yeah.
Tess sacrifices herself so you guys get away, and you're not even with her for that long, but I was like, oh my god.
Isn't there like a little boy that gets bit or something and then they have to kill him?
Does that little black kid get bit?
I'm pretty sure he gets bit.
Yeah, I think it's the little black kid.
Yeah,
because-
and you wake up and he's like, "Rah!" and you're like, they don't show him killing him, but I think they have like the gunshot of the dog.
Yeah,
because
because his older brother's like, I'll handle this, and then he goes and kills his little brother.
Heartbreaking. Like I was like, I thought the little girl dying with Joel was like was hard.
I got
Then you're like, like that guy had to kill his little brother that he cared so much. Oh man.
There is you guys have seen
Spoilers for Last of Us if you haven't played it. Fuck you.
He came out like 4 years ago. They can suck it up.
Get
They
on
can
it.
play it.
You guys have seen The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
I'm terrified of zombies. The only reason why I played Last of Us was because I heard so many good
I've
reviews.
seen it up to season 3, because then it goes
Okay.
downhill fast.
So you know how Rick starts this thing when they're at the prison, when they pick up new people.
Yeah.
He asks them questions. How many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed? Why? For me, I think the most haunting answer to the the third question, which is a response to the second, is because they asked me to. I've spent a lot of time toying with that scenario in my head. There's
That's
like
rough.
someone you very much care about
Do
gets
they
bit, and they're like,
count-
I want to die human.
I was gonna say, do they count someone who is bit and will turn as human or as walkers?
That's human.
I would count them as
You're
a
gonna
walker.
remind me of the Walking Dead game, and then I'm gonna tear up. You ever play that game all the way to the end?
The Telltale one.
What the fuck?
Fuck
Oh, they have a
that.
Telltale
Fuck
sale
it.
on
I
Xbox.
fucking hate it.
God, I got
It
all
wasn't okay.
all the way to the end. I don't want to kill this guy. What?
They have a Telltale sale on Xbox. Just in case anyone has an Xbox One, if you're interested. There's you can buy the whole series for $70.
Jeez.
Every Telltale game.
It's not a Telltale game, but in the same vein, if you want a very emotional, feels-driven game, play Life is Strange. It's really good. It's fantastic. I played through it twice to get both endings. It's really good.
I don't think he likes Life is Strange.
It's fantastic.
It's written by people who think they know how teenagers talk, but they really don't.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the stuff is cliche. Like, it's a game that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, and they talk like they're in the 90s.
It's not even cliche, dude. It's what a teenager from the early 2000s thinks people in the early 90s maybe might have sounded like, perhaps.
Chris was saying, did you know that the girl from Walking Dead was born in Grinnell? She's also in
Michonne.
Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. She's fucking kick-ass.
She was only here till she was like, I think, in kindergarten.
My favorite thing about The Last of
Born
Us is they blatantly made Ellie look like Ellen Page. So much so that she even called him out on Twitter. She's like, guys, what the fuck? And they're like, no, it was a happy accident. She's like, this is 100% me. What do you
Yeah,
mean it was an
that's me.
accident?
Guys, literally.
This isn't Lindsay Lohan on the cover of GTA 5. No, that's me.
Like, that is me. Like, and then, like, Ellen Page posts on her Twitter, like, years ago, a picture of herself when she was, like, 13 or 14, and I was like, fuck, that's Ellie. Like, shit.
Holy shit.
That is just blatant. And she was mad because she was in, she was in Beyond Two Souls. Like, she voiced her character in that game. Like, she mocapped and everything. And then when The Last of Us came out before Beyond Two Souls, and they're like, ha, beat you to it.
I don't think she, I don't think she would have voiced the character as well.
My favorite moment in The Last of Us, it's not a sad moment, but when you later on in the game, when you go to that camp and you meet up with his brother Tommy again, and you're like walking on this water area, there's this moment, and I laugh every time, and Ellie will hold up her hand, and she's like, up top, and you can just walk right on past her, and she's like, oh, you're just gonna go and leave me hanging, aren't you? It makes me laugh every time.
They didn't put in a high five button, those pieces of shit.
Yeah. I like the
I like that she cusses like a sailor.
I like in the new trailer that moment like after the other girl kisses her and she smiles, because I'm just like, oh, like I think that's the only time you really get to see Ellie smile.
Oh yeah,
that much.
literally, I'm like, oh,
Like, she
this
felt-
is all gonna go to
She
shit.
felt love for a minute, and then you know that that's gonna go away.
I swear to God, if they make this chick die in Ellie's arms, I will.
Guys, don't worry, it's gonna get worse. worse, I promise.
It's much worse.
It's the
Much
Last of Us.
worse.
It'll get worse. Like, I was so attached to Ellie that at the end of The Last of Us, when you're like rescuing her from the doctors, I murdered every single doctor in that room.
I killed every
all of them.
single one of them.
And then, like, in the cutscene when Joel just freaking Malcolm X's that chick into the ground, I was like, good.
Oh,
Fuck you.
I don't know why that got me into. So I watched Scooby Natural yesterday.
I liked it.
It was all right. I didn't like. I didn't like the Dean and Daphne shit. I thought that was a little too.
It was
forced.
way creepy.
Yeah, it was really
It was
forced. Like he even
super
tried to
creepy.
kiss her, and she was like, "And I'm gone." And you could see that Daphne didn't want shit to do with that. But then I had a dream last night that the original Scooby-Doo cast from the movie showed up in Supernatural.
Oh my god, that would be so meta.
So like fucking Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle
Where's that
Gellar,
crossover?
Matthew Lillard, they all showed up in Supernatural, and I
Why
was
do you
like,
know those actors offhand?
because I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Hey,
first of all, Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy, he did voice Shaggy in the Scooby Natural episode.
He just is Shaggy. Like,
yeah, he
voices,
did amazing.
He voices Shaggy and everything.
Freddie
they did in
Prinze
there.
Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar married, so Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then just that guy from every 90s movie that was like semi-handsome that like for some reason trumped
was in
Paul
Freddy Got
Walker
Fingered.
in every movie. Like Paul Walker had to play his best friend all the time, which really, I'm like, if I was Paul Walker, I'd be like, fuck you! Like,
Fuck you, Freddy!
you hired this guy that looks almost exactly like me to play the best. So anyways, Paul Walker and that,
I hate Paul Walker.
but I had a dream that like all of
Good
them
thing he's dead, right?
showed up in Supernatural. That was my dream last night. But then your line that you were talking about, like kill them all, reminded me of there was a scene where Sam's like, what if someone took the Impala? Oh, because it was the episode with the priest where someone took the skull, and he was like, what if someone had taken the Impala? And Dean just goes, murder them. I would murder them all. And Sam just goes, like he's like, what?
It's funny because
And
remember
I'm
that
like-
one time when he said I'm going to kill them all, and then he killed every single Stein.
Right?
Every fucking last
Every last
one of them,
one.
including the one who didn't fucking deserve to die.
Right? Just fuck them. They're all dead.
Fuck him. Fuck you. You're not cool. Fuck you anyway.
Dean, that was the thing that made me laugh so hard. And I was thinking that when you're like, I'm gonna murder them all. I'm like, that's Dean and the Impala right there.
Shit.
Murder them all.
My favorite thing about Supernatural is you watch from the beginning, and Sam's hair is short, and then each season it just gets progressively like it's taken over his face.
They had a great episode where, like, that was the one where the goat. No, Scooby Natural, yeah. Because Sam got hit in the head with something, and he goes, yeah, so you took a blow to the head. Are you all right? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? And he goes, yeah, it's probably all the padding. He's talking about his hair.
One of my
I was
favorite
like, yes.
episodes. I want to say it was last season or the season before. They had a slower episode of Supernatural where the whole episode just took place in the car.
It's called Baby.
Yeah,
It's one of my
Baby
favorite
was
episodes. It was
cool.
just them in the car, and I was like, they need to do more of this
I think I
again.
tweeted about that where I was like, fuck yeah, baby.
It's like, I still like Supernatural and I'll watch it, but I want them to go back to more of season 1 and 2 where it was like Freak of the Week kind of stuff, and it was all about like lore and all that stuff.
That's
that
what
was
I
really
don't-
good.
I think they need to just stop. Like, look, we all know the show's going to go on forever.
The plot is getting fucking
So,
convoluted. That's why
Do
they
we
need to
have
slow
to have
down
like
and
this huge overarching plot every season? Why can't one season you just write every episode as a monster of the week? Like, we don't have to have this huge convoluted plot that takes up 2/3 of the fucking episodes.
Give us more episodes that were like mystery spots.
Scooby
or
Natural-
movie.
yeah,
Scooby
or
Natural even had like
that
this
one that was
fucking-
completely in black and white.
That was Monster Movie.
Was that Monster Movie? I love that
That was a
episode.
good one.
Scooby Natural even had this dumb fucking line in there where a few episodes before they're like, okay, to open this portal we need all these things, and one of them was like the fruit of a tree, and like you could tell how forced it was into that whole episode where Cassiel walks in, he's like, I got the fruit of the tree. There was a bunch of gin there, but I got the fruit of the tree. And then like fruit of the tree of life. That's what it was. And then he gets sucked into the episode, and then the fruit drops. But it was like that we just gotta let you know
Yeah.
we're still, and I'm like, we don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to check off.
What's the title of that episode? There was like a little girl in a coma, and she was dreaming all these fairy tales that were coming to life and killing everyone. That was another good episode. She was in the hospital.
Yeah.
She kind of dressed like Snow White.
Yeah,
Is that the one with the fairies? No.
Maybe.
The
I don't
fairy
know.
episode was really great,
But
because Diehm just kept yelling.
She was
fairies.
sick or something, and something was like making her dreams become reality or something, and everyone was getting killed by fairy tales. I don't remember the title of that episode.
Let's start 2 partitions. You mean petitions? One for Drizzt and Owen Wilson crying movie, and Jay's Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover. Well, so the Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover happened, but the live action thing didn't happen. But for them to get a hold of Freddie Prinze Jr., well, they'd be cheap. Matthew Lillard was cheap.
I would
because they
pay
got
money.
him
I would
voice.
go to the theater and pay money to watch him for an hour and a half, just yelling to Owen Wilson like, "Cry, damn it, cry! Just weep, please."
Just an interrogation room, slapping him around.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're
Cry, damn it! Oh wow, that hurts.
Listen,
Oh wow.
Listen, man.
Remember when
I'm
you
just
were a
gonna tell
grown
you.
man producing a film called Cars 3? I want you to remember the sorrow you felt when you realized your life is nothing, you piece of shit.
I watched Cars 1 with my brother, and I was like, that's not terrible. I didn't regret watching Cars 1. It was serviceable. And then I watched Cars 2, and they murder cars in that movie. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I literally.
Evil.
Cars 2 about Mater.
My-
Literally my least favorite character from the first one.
My nephew Isaac is like hardcore into Cars right now in the Cars universe. He's 2, and now the only thing he wants to watch is planes. So like he'll be on Skype with my sister and be like, "Planes! Planes!" You'll just hear him in the background, "Planes!" And my sister's like, "No, no more!" And he's like, "Planes!"
They need to make a movie called Trains so they can release it all in like a box set called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's a good movie.
It is
by
a
the
really
way.
good movie.
It's a really good movie, and it's a rock solid pun.
I actually had
It was fantastic. I'm proud.
I bought a John Candy collection
I
because
miss him.
it's been so
I
long since
missed
I'd
it.
seen
Uncle Buck. Oh, I love
Yeah, so
Uncle
I watched
Buck.
Uncle Buck,
Hell yeah.
which was amazing, by the way. And if I want to be any kind of uncle, I want to be fucking Uncle Buck.
Right?
But
Why don't I have an Uncle Buck, goddammit?
yeah, but also then I watched The Great Outdoors, which was not nearly as good as Uncle Buck.
Not his best work.
Yeah,
I
should've
remember
watched
that-
Great Outdoors first, and then Uncle
I remember
Buck.
as a kid thinking that was one of the best movies ever, and then I went back and rewatched Great Outdoors, and I was like, that was something.
Yeah, that was
That was a movie.
Dan
Yes, it
Aykroyd
was.
being Dan Aykroyd, I guess.
Aykroyd.
The plane.
Dan Aykroyd. God, I love
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd, too.
Good 80s, 90s star. Liked him. Another guy I miss is fucking Farley. I miss him a lot.
God, Christopher.
You know, so I created this theory for the new Ghostbusters movie. So I have this feeling.
Is it going to be another all-female one?
Oh, no, I have a theory
Are they
for the,
continuing with those?
for the all-female one. I have a
They
theory.
set it up after the initial credits. Patty heard the names duel on one of the recordings.
Yeah, but I think they basically, after all the hate, they decided they weren't.
Or did they scrap it?
I-
Did they
I'm
scrap
sure
that
they
idea?
scrapped it.
I didn't like it, but I didn't feel it was as bad as everyone said.
Okay, it wasn't the fact that women were the main characters. I had no problem.
Right? I didn't.
It was the
either.
fact that it was poorly written, poorly acted for
the
the
special
most part.
effects were awful.
The special effects were terrible. I mean, you could have.
They
You
were
could
like
have easily used the props from the first movie, and it would have looked better
The special effects were like
than the CGI.
early 90s CGI. It looked awful.
2009 at best.
Yeah.
These are
what
like
year rating would you give this CGI?
these are like pre-James Cameron Avatar graphics here, guys.
Also, I hate Melissa McCarthy. Maybe that's just me.
Oh,
I don't think she's all that
love
funny.
Melissa McCarthy.
I don't like Melissa McCarthy.
She
I don't
didn't
like fucking
do-
Amy Schumer.
She didn't do any of her stuff, though.
She was fantastic when she hosted SNL.
But she didn't do anything Melissa McCarthy
She's
hardly at all in Ghostbusters. Her
yeah.
and Kristen Wiig, the two most talented,
Kristen Wiig is
played
hilarious. I love
straight
Kristen
man.
Wiig.
That whole
Right.
movie, they played straight man, and then they left it to Kate McKinnon to be super fucking weird. Or was it Kate McKinnon?
Yeah, it was. I did not.
I don't think it was Kate McKinnon. I think
it
was another girl.
No, it was Kate McKinnon.
Was it?
Yeah. I did not like her character. Maybe they just made her weird as fuck.
Yeah, she was super weird.
She was all like
Hemsworth,
mumbling to herself.
Which they've actually announced that the reason why Thor Ragnarok happened is because Chris Hemsworth in Ghostbusters. Like they were like, oh, he's funny, so let's let him be funny.
I liked him in Ghostbusters. I thought he was hilarious. As the
he was the best part.
Brain dead freaking.
My favorite
secretary.
thing is when he'd be like, oh, it's so loud.
Yeah,
it's so loud. And I'm like, I don't care who you. That's funny. That's right.
That's not how that works.
People are like, he's so dumb, and I'm like, yeah, but that's funny. Like, they did it in your eyeballs because something.
I watched an interview with the director, and they did it on purpose because in every male thing, they make the dude like super smart, big, muscly, like perfect dude, and so they just hired good-looking Chris Hemsworth to play the dumbass, like.
All he was pretty.
Yeah,
that's all he had going for him.
Yeah.
There was a moment where someone tossed him a sandwich after all the shit went down at the hotel, and they're like, "How did you water?" And someone just fucking tosses him a water from the crowd, and he's like, and then he starts drinking. I'm like, is that just his life? I would imagine it is.
That's what, yeah. So I thought Chris Hemsworth killed it, but my theory for that movie is they say that it's disconnected from the Ghostbusters.
I don't believe you.
But the fact that
Dan Aykroyd.
What?
Dan Aykroyd's cameo proves that it is not.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like. Well, so he says that. So here's how I connect, because I'm so anal. I'm like, they have to be connected. What if the Ghostbusters from the 70s were put into like a witness protection program? Mm-hmm. They outlawed it and they said you have to live different lives. So then they put Ernie Hudson as a funeral home director.
Yep.
And then they made Dan Aykroyd a
fucking cab driver.
Like a cab driver, which made sense because he looked miserable. He looked pissed.
He looked like he hated his life.
I don't want to be here. And he's just like, I ain't afraid of no ghost. And then drives off, and I'm like, it's him. And then of course Bankman, right? That's Bill Murray.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a fucking tool and like still be like,
he was a tool.
I'm gonna disprove ghosts and
He's
shit.
gonna be over like ghosts are bullshit.
Yeah,
and
Bankman is a total.
And I'm like, that
tool.
makes sense. I'm like, what if they were placed in a witness protection?
So, the actor who played, what's his name? The sciencey guy. I can never.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Egon.
I forget his name, but he died.
Egon, he died. But I noticed. I don't know why I was studying the scene so hard. I paused it for some reason. I think I was making pizza or something. But when I sat back down, I noticed I honestly cared so little about this movie. I can't remember the actresses in it. But when the one who was working at university,
Kristen Wiig. Okay.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig, when she gets like shit canned, her boss is walking out the office door, and he turns a corner, and for about 3 seconds, there's a shot of that office, and there's a golden bust of Egon in the hallway.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
People want a continuation of Ghostbusters bad. If you really want a continuation, years ago, it came out on the 360 and the PS3 and the PS2. There was a Ghostbusters video game, and I saw a trailer for it, and at first I wasn't that excited, but all the original cast returns, and you play as like a new recruit to the Ghostbusters, and they're training you to hunt ghosts. And it was funny, it was hilarious, it was a good game. I was like, this is Ghostbusters 3 that we never fucking got.
Yeah, I think the inspiration like drew from those.
Yeah, and like literally they all kept talking like, hey, we kind of want to do this, but then we kind of don't. And then someone's like, you want to voice characters in this video game? And they're all like, hell yeah, Ghostbusters 3 right here.
Bill Murray said before they made a new Ghostbusters movie, he said, I'll do another Ghostbusters movie if you kill my character in the first reel of the movie, which is like 10 minutes. So within the first 10 minutes, he had to have been dead. And that's why they held on for so long, was because he fought it. And then Harold Ramis, who played Egon, passed away, and that's when things went. And Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd were the writers, and Harold Ramis was the main writer, and he's the director for those movies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he did a lot of the work. So it just, to me, I'm like, Bill Murray.
Right?
So hard because Harold
I could see
Ramis
his
never got his movie.
I could see his character dying in the first 10 minutes because Venkman was a douche canoe.
Yeah, he was a dick.
He died in the. He wouldn't do it unless he died in the first 10 minutes, and Harold Ramis never got it. Bill Murray got fucking Zombieland,
Right?
where he ran around, and then he got the new Ghostbusters movie, and I'm just like.
Bill Murray got Osmosis Jones.
I'm like,
you remember Osmosis
I
Jones?
fucking love that.
I love Osmosis.
Like, that's what made me so mad. I was like, oh,
The
Bill,
movie
I'm like,
that
you're an
nobody
asshole.
watched, but then they made a cartoon TV series of it.
They
because
did!
Why not?
Dude, I
Yeah,
love the
whole
movie.
show.
Ozzy and Drix. Yeah.
I could not watch the movie more than once because they had a zit poppings.
Oh.
Like, where's it? And
I have to skip that scene every time.
every time
It's
I'm
so
like,
gross.
You almost bunch of pain.
I hate that.
He's grossed out just thinking about it.
Some dainty little flowers.
I'm a dainty flower. Accept it. Feel my daintiness.
Need to like pot some zits on air just to freak him out.
No.
Get out of my house.
Oh,
I
God.
could dig this hangnail out of my thumb in front of you.
I don't care about that, honestly. I really
No,
don't.
there's pus in there.
Yeah. Okay. It's not as bad as like seeing this gross.
Yeah, you ever seen
That
Okay.
that
You
scene
ever-
when he pops it and it like launches at the teacher and like lands on her face.
So talking about there's this scene someone put it out on Facebook. They're like the grossest thing you'll ever see, and I'm like, and it showed this guy's mouth open, and I'm like, what could possibly be so gross? And he puts his hand in the back of his throat. Fucking pus just goes like right out of his mouth, and I was like,
you clearly haven't seen cyst draining videos.
No, I don't watch them.
Don't
I don't
do it.
I don't. I'm not one of those people that enjoy that. Like I can't.
I feel
And
like you
no
need to watch
problem
yourself
if
some
you
Human
enjoy that. That's
Centipede.
fine, but
I mean, I don't enjoy them, but I don't get sick when I see them. Because, you know,
He just watches them and he's like, "That's gross."
like, eat.
Neat.
Like, the head looked like a brain.
Oh,
Pretty
hey
much
Tommy,
it.
what'd you think of Newsies?
I'd like to forget all about Christian Bale, but everything else was really good.
I had
Race car.
I had a couple of friends like we were watching it. So back in college, I had friends, and in Platteville,
What newsies were they?
college town structure. I don't know. I'm race car.
I'm race car.
So, anyways,
I'm jumping Jack Kelly.
no, I said sorry, racetrack. They didn't have cars in Newsies. They did, but
fucking sucks at his job.
anyways, who does?
What?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You suck at remembering things. That's like,
I do.
commentary is what a podcast is, and you're fucking it up.
I wake up in the morning, so I get slack.
Close enough.
Fucking Brad Pitt gets well, he doesn't bang Angelina Jolie, but still,
Brad Pitt gets to be Brad Pitt.
yeah, he gets to be Brad fucking whatever he wants.
I mean,
Pitt.
he left Jennifer Aniston. Angelina Jolie. What?
Dumbass.
Right.
Dumbass.
Jennifer Aniston's getting hotter with age. She's in her 50s.
Yeah,
She's
but-
hotter than she used to be.
20s, great. 30s to 40s, this weird, like, so it was like this, and then back into, like, she's coming back. But for a while, she's more annoying than anything. But Angelina Jolie, like, when Brad Pitt is up here, and then just, because she got all vegan, and then the poor lady had cancer, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had cancer.
Yeah, she had breast. Oh no, okay, I'm sorry. This is okay. So I'm pretty sure it was she had risk of breast cancer, and so she had both of them removed immediately.
And Brad Pitt was like, "Ugh."
I don't think that's what turned him off. I think like they just like
The billion children they were adopting.
yeah. I think
They had the fucking money.
I mean,
he's like Brad Pitt. I have billions of dollars, and she's like, I want you to stay home and be a family man. He's like, I'm Brad fucking Pitt.
you get a bedroom and you
Like,
get a bedroom.
I'm busy being over there making amazing movies that
I'm
aren't World War
Brad
Z.
Pitt.
Angelina
From
just
Ghostbusters to popping zits
goes
in
to
under 2
adopt
minutes.
needy kids, and she's like, "You get a Brad Pitt, and you get a Brad Pitt."
Jones, Chris Goodrich. Sorry.
Watch
Bill
it; it's an
Murray's
experience.
The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. 6.
Bill Murray also got the Jungle Book. He was in the new Jungle
He was Baloo,
Book.
wasn't he?
He
Yeah.
played Baloo.
I have yet to see that, and I don't want to see any of the movie other than Christopher Walken singing "I Want to Be Like You."
That was great, and Bill Murray was actually pretty good singing the bare necessities.
So they did a good job. They did a good job.
I liked it a lot.
John Favreau directed it, so I trusted it. However, Bill Murray to me it's like Johnny Depp playing Willy Wonka. It's as best as you can get it.
Johnny Depp's worst movie.
But you still can't do it. Like, it's because the old Baloo.
Actually, no, I did see
fantastic.
Pirates on Stranger Tides. That was pretty bad.
I saw that movie 7 times in theater, but that's not the point. Anyway.
Are you saying you like that movie?
Shut up. Anyway.
Tell me, did you like that movie?
I was having a time in high school. I was really sad.
Are you talking about? Oh wait, are we talking about the fourth Pirates?
Yeah, the fourth
or
one.
fifth?
I saw the
fourth
I thought
one.
you went and watched the fifth one.
No,
The fifth one's better than the fourth one.
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
The fourth one.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Fourth one was bad. The fifth one is Johnny Depp called it in as like
It was
as
like
hard as he could.
I bet he was drunk the whole time for reals. But in terms of Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka being his worst performance, I don't think it was. Personally, I think like he kind of made the darker possibility of Willy Wonka a lot more apparent.
It's not his worst performance. It's
than people would have.
It's my least favorite movie he's been in.
Like Gene Wilder, there were some heavy-handed hints at Willy Wonka might not be doing some totally awesome shit here.
See, and everyone loves Gene Wilder, but the author didn't like that movie because apparently, like Willy Wonka, like he wasn't meant to be all dark, and even Gene Wilder. There's that scene where they're going through that tunnel and it's all rainbows, and his voice just keeps getting louder and louder, like he's losing his shit.
Keep on rowing. Yes, I know. I love Gene Wilder.
Yeah, Gene Wilder.
I cried
fantastic.
when Gene Wilder died.
Yep.
Well, I think I watched it with my nephews, and they were like,
What the fuck?
I go, guys, you might want to close your eyes during this scene. And they're like, what? I'm like, you might see some pretty fucked up shit. And they're like, what? And they start watching it, and they're like, well, this is okay. And then the scene with the flashes and shit, and they were like,
it's just Gene's face while he's screaming at the camera.
It's like he's just losing his goddamn mind. There's like a chicken gets its head cut off. Like a worm crawls across this guy's face, like a centipede or a millipede or something. And then there was like a bunch of other stuff, and he's just and my nephews are like, what is happening? And at the end,
this is what we watched when I was a kid.
What's so great though is like rewatching it as an adult, you catch all of the humor. And like the end, I can't even remember what the dad said. It was the car salesman dad had the best line at the end of it. It was just he said something random, and it was the funniest fucking thing. Where he was just like, you could tell he's freaked out, but he didn't know what to do. And he just said something, and I was like, yes! Like I'm sitting here dying, and my nephews are like, we don't know what just happened, and I'm just like, yeah, you're going through your first time on this tunnel ride.
It's so funny. Our uncle's weird.
I have a lot of issue with the new Jumanji movie.
You don't like it?
I liked it well enough.
Fuck both of you.
Okay, what's your problem with the new Jumanji movie?
It is a disgrace to Robin Williams' fucking legacy. Fuck both of you for liking that movie.
I don't
in any
think
capacity.
so. I think they did a good job.
That movie fucking sucks.
They stayed away from Robin Williams.
Fight anyone. That is not Jumanji.
They touched on him for a second.
Goes straight to hell.
They touched on him for a second.
Directly to hell.
You find where he was living.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I enjoyed it.
You go directly to hell.
Because it didn't try to be a Jumanji remake. It didn't try
leave
to
it alone. Let it be its own thing.
It's in the same universe.
That's what it did.
Just leave the idea alone. It was like executed.
It was like, you know what? Let's not try and do like Jumanji. Let's try and do a new kind of Jumanji. Let's make it, fuck it, video games. That's awesome. And then they jump in and they have a bunch of video game humor.
Kids these days don't understand board games. Gotta make it an Atari-looking fucking console.
No, it's not because kids don't understand board games. It's because the board games were already done. That's what Jumanji already did board games. So for the next Jumanji, they're like, let's do something different. Let's do video games. So then they have video game commentary. Like the NPC thing was fucking hilarious.
Jack Black is like the best part of that movie.
When they have the guy from Yes Man and who played the Geico lizard.
Yeah.
He's like, he plays the main, like the first NPC, and he's like, welcome to Jumanji! That guy killed it.
Yep.
Like, and then you have like Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart. You have The Rock being The Rock. And then you have that amazing scene. Karen Gillian, is that her name?
Yes, Karen. I love Karen Gillian.
Amy Pond.
When her and The Rock kiss, that was the funniest fucking thing.
Yes, it was.
Because they're both like... and they really killed it, and they had a good, like, they're like, okay, let's talk about teenagers and this awkward, like, teenage thing, and it just...
I guess it's like, don't put gasoline on my nostalgia and then throw a lit match on it, dude, alright?
I feel like they did the best thing. That's why I would compare it to, like, it's the same idea of when they took, if you break down the element of Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, right?
Yeah.
They're like, okay, Gene Wilder killed it. We're gonna have
Could not have gone better.
We're gonna have to do something else entirely different. So they made Tim Burton, Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka, and it's so weird and different.
Then why didn't they just do a movie about Willy Wonka and the Great Glass Elevator?
I don't know.
Why didn't
I think
they
they
make
had a
that
sequel planned.
Why didn't they make that a movie instead of a fucking weird?
Well, they did a good job of expanding the story.
Monochrome Johnny Depp playing a low rent Gene Wilder.
I'm Willy Wonka.
But that's the thing, it's not a low rent Gene Wilder, it's something different.
Yeah.
They said, okay, fuck it, we're going to do something different. We're not going to touch the Gene Wilder version.
We're not going to go anywhere near it.
To be respectful of the fact that that's how it's supposed to be done.
My friend is called
that's what
cannibalism.
Jumanji, to me, the Jumanji remake was. They were like, okay, the Robin Williams thing was perfect.
Yeah.
So let's do something different. And so they went into video games.
I guess it's kind of the same feeling I have about hearing the announcement that they might remake The Crow with Jason Momoa.
That is
done.
That is on hold. Jason Momoa backed out, and so
Jason
it's
Momoa
on hiatus.
and the director dropped out.
Do you understand why I have a problem with that? Brandon Lee died for that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
And then they made The Crow 2.
To be fair, though.
And then The Crow 3, Retribution.
And then there's a fourth Crow.
There's a fourth one?
Fifth, yeah.
Fuck me!
Oh,
They're
God.
all so bad. Because, okay, so the next one, I think the second one was an unknown guy.
Just some guy.
The third guy was either... I think the third guy who played the Crow was the dude from, what was that fucking Small Soldiers? The kid?
Oh, what?
The fifth guy...
I love Small Soldiers.
The fifth guy was the kid from Terminator 2.
The guy that played Little John Connor?
Yeah.
What?
What's his name? Edward Furlong. Edward Furlong played the Crow, and it was horrible. And then David Bjornes, fucking... Angel from Buffy, was the bastardized villain that just...
His name is Boreanaz, not Boreanaz.
I don't know how to pronounce his name!
He was the villain?
He was the villain,
What?
and it was... Yeah, no, they keep remaking and bastardizing the Crow.
The first
they're
one
like
is so
They're
good.
basically sci-fi movie budget movies. I think the fourth was made on sci-fi.
Probably.
Kind of like that Terminator movie I saw.
And they had one with Tara Reid.
Oh, that was on sci-fi for sure.
She was one of the villains in the and I think that was the one with the kid from fucking Small Soldiers, if I'm right. But they just keep... And in Erie, Indiana. That's the kid from Erie, Indiana. Also in Small Soldiers.
Erie, Indiana.
They've bastardized the Crow enough that if they get the right director and the right actor...
I think Jason Momoa could play just kill it in that role. I think he could. I just think, out of fucking respect for, the guy who died for the original telling of this story.
There has been zero respect for 4 to 5 Crow movies.
I
They have
honestly,
given zero fucks.
I don't even think about them. Honestly, I just push
It's
them
not
out of
just
my
attempted
mind.
murder, it is murder, my friend. There is a flock of Crow movies in sequel
That
to
are
the
just
first
awful.
one that are just awful. It's murder in the literal sense. It is a murder of crows.
Kind of like the RoboCop sequels.
I hate you right now.
It's so bad. But I think enough time has passed and enough bastardization has happened that they almost need to make a new one and make it
Have you
good.
seen them remake Enter the Dragon?
Oh
You
God!
don't fuck with Bruce Lee.
I just
Don't touch Enter the Dragon. That movie's so good.
I'm just saying, like, it just there's been so many bad versions
Do you know what I want?
that they almost need to make a new one to make it good.
Yeah.
Like
Try to just bring it some kind of
Just
respect again.
all of the nasty shit
Do
that's been pooped
Do you know what
on
I
it.
would like? I would like a good Zathura movie.
Did you not like Zathura?
It was okay.
I thought it was okay.
I even enjoyed
It was-
PETA in that movie because
It was-
PETA was the kid.
Yeah, he was a.
I liked
then-
Kristen Stewart in that movie.
Oh, she was in that movie?
Yeah, she was the older sister. That
People
was Kristen fucking Stewart.
people forget, and it's the reason I hate Twilight. She's actually a really good actress.
American Ultra.
Yeah.
Exhibit fucking
Dax
A.
Shepard.
She is
Jack
fantastic.
Shepard was in there. And I love
Yeah.
Jack Shepard.
Yeah, he was a little brother from the
I-
future, but
I
right
love
now
Dax
future,
Shepard.
not the future.
Mm-hmm. That movie was
What?
pretty.
I said
That movie was really
No, I know what you
heavy-handed. He's the little brother, but he's from the future.
He's from
but
the
not
future, but
alternate
the right
future?
now future, not the future.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, Jared.
Okay, he's from the future in the
Sam.
respect that you're standing right here and holy shit, he's from the future, but he's not from the future that you're going to make. Fucking John Connor shit. The only future is what you make it. So he gets to choose what he wishes for, either that dumbass fucking autographed football or his brother to go away. And had he made decision A, it would have split off into the possible future of his brother becoming an astronaut and him probably dying in space. Or decision B, he gets the football and they live. That's a very watered down version of how possible futures work. Think of it as a tree.
I get it. I mean, it's the
Kristen
it's
Stewart makes out with her brother.
Do you have a whiteboard? I could draw you a diagram.
No. Well, yes, but no. I don't know if that's going to come off the wall very well.
Kristen Stewart.
Oh, that's not nearly
Kristen
large
Stewart's
enough.
also in Jumper for 3 minutes.
That is not nearly
Fuck
For
large.
like
Jumper.
3 minutes.
That movie was a piece of shit movie.
I liked Push better.
I didn't mind.
Oh,
Jumper.
sequel.
Push!
Soul sequel to Jumper. Because they reference Jumpers. in
Is it a
Push.
sequel?
Yeah.
I have not seen. I need to see Push
The
again. I
main
didn't
villain,
know that.
the black guy, he references Jumpers.
I didn't hate Jumper, but
I liked Push way.
they made a movie tie-in game to Jumper, and it was god awful.
You want to know the difference? You want to know what Push was better?
Why?
Chris Evans. That's why. Because Chris Evans is a goddamn treasure.
The only thing I hate about Jumper is I fucking hate Hayden Christensen.
Did you watch? You know what? I'm okay with
He
him
is-
from time to time.
No,
but
he's
he
a-
just
douche.
I've only seen one movie where he was halfway decent. Otherwise, he's really shitty in like everything.
What was that movie?
Have you ever seen Factory Girl?
Yes,
No.
I have.
It's an old. My sister made me watch it one time. It wasn't that good, but he wasn't terrible in it.
Oh, hang on, I need a confirmation on something. When I was young, I remember reading a short story, and it was like the original like short story for how Jumanji became a thing, and Zathura was on the flip side of the board for Jumanji. Do either of you guys remember that?
No.
Does anyone?
I don't.
Does
That would be
anyone
awesome.
remember that?
Christopher Goodrich, it's up to you. What do you remember?
Remember
Also,
who you are.
He says, do you think they should make a Rush Hour 4 even though it might be coming out?
Oh, they're making it right now. It's confirmed.
happening.
Jackie signed on and Chris Tucker signed on.
They just need to do the first one, but with them old.
Jackie needs more money for his Chinese movies.
I think the next one should just
I would
be
die if they just remade the
a
first one, but
flip-flop
it's old
remake
people.
of Lethal Weapon, but it's still Rush Hour 4. But it's Lethal Weapon. Jackie Chan's the old cop. And Chris Tucker is
the Mel Gibson character.
yeah, Mert is
God, I would die.
Briggs. Because it's Murtaugh and Briggs, right?
Why aren't we making movies? Like, these ideas are gold.
That's what I think. That's what I think. So here's where it pisses me off. They finally had a really good movie idea of a fresh remake, spin-off, sequel combination that I would have paid all the money to see. They were going to do 22 Jump Street, MIB, and I'm like, in, 100% in, because I just...
Yes.
I think their commentary would be so funny.
I want the ridiculousness of 21 Jump Street mixed with the fucking insanity of Men in Black.
Right? And I'm like, and it would make sense, like, they would get recruited into Men in Black somehow, and it would just
it'd be fucking bonkers.
And it would essentially be 21 Jump Street all over again.
Just with aliens.
Men in Black. And I'm like, and they were gonna do it, and then they never did it, and I'm like...
Right? I was so excited.
I bet fucking Will Smith would have been all over that shit.
Right?
They wanted Channing Tatum to do
Will Smith.
The new Ghost. They want to do a guy's Ghost. They wanted to do a girls Ghostbusters and a men only Ghostbusters. And then Channing Tatum and Chris Pratt would be the lead. And I'm like,
why can't we do both?
Yeah, why can't you just...
Porque no los dos, my man.
Porque no los dos.
I have an idea. Men and women can be in the Ghostbusters at the same time.
Blasphemy. How dare you? What are you doing?
I'm just saying. They could have just...
That's not how
had two women and two men.
Jared.
And you know what?
Jared.
The women don't have sex with the men.
Jared, wait. Jared.
Firehouse is not co-ed, Jared.
Jared, you have to listen to me right now. I need you to take me very seriously, okay? What? It's not how Hollywood works, Jared. You know this.
Yes, I know. That's not how Hollywood works.
I'm so very sorry. Jared.
So, yeah, to answer your question, Chris Goodrich, yes, they should make a Rush Hour 4, but only if it's a remake of Lethal Weapon 1 with Jackie Chan being, I think, Die Hard 3, but Jackie Chan is Bruce Willis, and Chris Tucker is fucking... No. Chris Tucker is Bruce Willis, and Jackie Chan is again Samuel L. Jackson. Not again, but would be again the black guy. Just to have Jackie Chan all tired of this motherfucking shit in the hood, like walking and just like
it's got to be set in Chinatown though.
It's set in Chinatown.
Oh my God.
And Chris Tucker is wearing like some racial slur sign to Chinese people.
He's got Chinese symbols tattooed on his palm or something.
Motherfucker, what do you think you're fucking doing? I just want to see Jackie Chan do his best Samuel L. Jackson impression.
I think I've
for one entire movie. I want to have Samuel L. Jackson just once in the background, like hear him say something that Samuel L. Jackson would say, and he'd be like, "Oh, the," and then he would just be gone.
Yeah. I want to see Jackie Chan just look at the screen and go, "Ho ho ho! Now I have a machine gun." I think that'd be hilarious.
Chris, it's up to you, man. Right? Like, this is going to be recorded forever. Rewatch it and write it all down, and then become a famous Hollywood producer. And when you do, just give us a call. Just promote our podcast at the end. Thanks to Jamp. People will be like, "What's Jamp?" And they're going to spend years on code, and then just find our podcast
at the end of the credits. Put a little nerdy in your pocket, and everyone watching the movie will be like, "No, just no."
No, I don't want to do that. That's fucking stupid.
You're going to be at the movie, and you're just going to go.
You're gonna fucking rip a chair off the ground, toss it, and just leave. Fuck you. I think I've said it before though. I loved Jackie Chan's Mr. Miyagi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was a great Mr. Miyagi.
Oh my God, that movie was amazing, except for Jaden Smith.
Right? I didn't like Jaden Smith at all.
One of my favorite memories ever was like, I was working at the theater at the time, and my friends and I came in to watch. My friends were kind of being lame assholes. I told them, you can only bring like one person at a time for free to a movie. And I was like, I can only bring one of you for free. And they all showed up with no money. And I was like, fuck you guys. And then we came in, and the assistant manager, he was a teenager at the time. And so he's like, yeah, dude, it never sold. So just go in and watch it, all of you. And we were like, serious? He's like, yeah. So we all went in and watched The Karate Kid, and it was only us. And we were in the tiny Theater 3, and we just sat there trolling the whole movie. We just like, I mean, there's part where like he sets his head on Jackie Chan's lap, and we're just like.
That reminds me of
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, that's basically all.
Spider-Man 3 had come out. Garbage movie. Opening weekend had been done, and me and my sister wanted to see it really bad. So my aunt took us on that Monday, and Spider-Man 3 was in the big theater at Strand, and we paid for our ticket in the big theater on a Monday night, and it was just me and my sister, the only two people in that theater. And I was like, it's only been out for like 4 days.
Tommy, have you seen the you remember the sequence in that movie where it's Dark Peter and he's
God, yes.
And he's just doing his thing.
The worst part of that movie.
Have you ever seen that without the music?
Yeah.
That is my favorite YouTube video.
I saw that YouTube
I almost
video.
pissed myself laughing every time.
That's my second worst part of that movie, though, is that Emo Peter. The worst part is
Emo Peter.
Who the fuck cast Eric Foreman as Venom?
Topher Grace is a good actor.
No, I love Topher Grace, not as Eddie Brock.
He did not need to be Eddie Brock. I agree.
Eddie Brock is
here's
muscle-bound meat hunk.
Here's all they needed to do, right?
Beef arms fridge chest.
To make this movie,
Sandman was cool.
To make the movie work, I can deal with Venom being super tiny.
The symbiote makes him bigger. We can explain that away.
Well, what annoyed me was the fact that the symbiote was even tiny. The symbiote wasn't that big in Spider-Man 3, which I was like, okay, I can deal with it. But the one time that the symbiote was talking, it's crawling along the wall and talking. And the entire time, it just has Topher Grace's voice. Right. And that was it. And it's like, I'll show you where Spider-Man is.
The least intimidating thing ever.
And I'm like,
get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Someone literally watched this movie. But like the editors, the fucking director, everyone involved with post watched this movie. Clearly did not watch any of Spider-Man the Animated Series.
At all.
Oh, that's
Because
so
all you have
good.
to do is just have a doubled over voice of like, you could have Topher Grace with a microphone going, I'll show you where Spider-Man is. At the same time that he's talking, and it doubles over and makes a super creep. I can even handle the fact that the symbiote doesn't say we. It has to say we. It's supposed to say we, but I'll handle it. What I can't handle is Topher Grace being the only voice that speaks. Like when he's just crawling along the wall.
He's got the most
and it's
unintimidating
clearly
voice.
his dubbed over voice. Like he's speaking into a microphone with the and he's like, I'll help you take down Spider-Man. And I'm like, even when his thing comes off and he's got the sharp teeth, if he was like, I'll help you take down, okay, fine. But when he's got the mask on and he's crawling along the wall, he's just, I'll help you take down Spider-Man. And I was like, I'm done! Look,
Are you excited for the Tom Hardy Venom movie?
so that trailer immediately fixed every single problem I have with the Tom Hardy movie. And you want to know why? Because he says, we are Venom, there's a doubled over voice, and they hired the biggest fucking meathead in Hollywood to play him. This is them apologizing with flowers, chocolate, and some sexy ass lingerie. Like it's just this is them making and even though there's no Spider-Man, I will take no Spider-Man over Topher Grace.
Tom Hardy needs to call Topher Grace on the phone.
Crawling down the wall.
Yeah, this is Topher, and then he needs to be like, suck it.
I can handle it over Topher Grace crawling down the wall, being like, I will help you defeat Spider-Man.
Wasn't Tom Hardy's like breakout role in Hollywood this kind of weird movie that went unnoticed? But he was basically a bare knuckle boxer in the 30s.
It's not Bronson, is it? No, Bronson was something else.
He got
Was it The Fighter?
fucking
No, it wasn't
jacked
The Fighter.
for that
The Fighter
movie.
was a current, like it was. I don't know about the third, but I mean,
when I first saw a picture of Tom Hardy, I was like, Jesus
have you seen him in
fucking
Bronson?
Christ.
Have you seen him in
I'm
Bronson?
not. Is he just muscled out?
Oh my! There's a scene. First of all, there's a scene where he's naked. I've seen more of Tom Hardy than I've ever wanted to see. Like it's just him walking around in a circle, buck ass naked, ranting and raving. Because so it's about this British criminal named Charles Bronson. Like he named himself Charles Bronson after the American actor Charles Bronson.
Okay.
He might not have been an American actor, but the actor Charles Bronson, he names himself after it because he wants to be infamous, and he becomes an infamous criminal named Charles Bronson. So they call it Bronson. But he's this big fucking meathead, and but there's a scene where he's in prison. And he's just got a temper problem. I mean, straight up. He's just walking around. And it's just Tom Hardy with Bane-level muscles, buck-ass naked, walking in a circle. And all I could think of is like, holy shit, like, you can have that much muscle? Like,
right? You're gonna flex too hard, break your ribs, dude.
Yeah, he was badass in that movie, but... And then and that was around the same time he did Batman Begins. And
I think that might be the movie.
Or not Batman Begins, Batman Dark Knight Rises. And then he also did...
Right.
Thank you for agreeing with me.
How do you go from The Dark Knight to Dark Knight Rises?
Oh.
That's poop.
I have hours of complaints about The Dark Knight Rises.
Right?
Like, it just...
Do you have any complaints about The Dark Knight?
I mean, if you want to break it down, my biggest myth with The Dark Knight is Batman. I think Christian Bale's Batman is kind of fucking boring.
Yeah.
Batman Begins was the only time I was like, yeah, and that's because he was the main character. But in Dark Knight...
That's my main one, too. My second one, which I've never gotten a lot of people to agree with me, Lucius Fox wasn't utilized nearly as much as he could have been in that series.
So...
In the animated, we have a super tech genius at our disposal, better than Bruce fucking Wayne himself.
In the animated series and in like the comic books, like Bruce Wayne goes to Lucius all the time, and Lucius comes up with all these badass gadgets and shit.
Like, dude, let's do this, and he's like, okay.
In the animated,
I'll pay for it.
In the animated series, Lucius Fox is the one that designs the original Batmobile.
And
shit.
So he gets his bulletproof bat suit.
But you'll be more susceptible to stab wounds.
In the second one, he's like, you're going to be more susceptible to stab wounds. He's like, also, can I turn my head?
I love that scene when he's like, I need a suit that's resistant to dogs. I got attacked by a dog. And Lucius is like, a dog? And he's like, it was a really big dog.
So my problem being with this scene is he needs bulletproof armor, but I'm like, you know what? Like, Batman's a fucking ninja. He does not need anything other than a cloth suit because he doesn't intend for anyone to see him long enough to shoot him.
Unless you're Christian Bale's Batman.
Because he's a goddamn ninja. Christian Bale's Batman jumps on the side of a van, rips it open with his arm blade thing, like, rips it open long enough for a dog to attack him and for people to shoot at him. And I'm like...
That is not stealth Batman.
That's not Batman. Like,
the Batman Begins. The best scene in that movie is the fucking, like, the shipping yard.
Oh, yeah. He's, like, grappling, hooking down and, like, grabbing him up and shit.
Yeah, that's what Batman's supposed to be.
Yeah.
People don't believe Batman's a person because they just hear the tale... this thing that just grabs
he's like
people.
A creature in the night and shit.
Yeah, and even the people who get grabbed tell stories of a fucking Batman that grabs them.
Best Batman villain ever. Man bad.
That's what I love about Michael. That's what I love about Michael Keaton's Batman movie, because the opening scene is just two criminals on the roof. Like, yeah, they say it's a real bat, and he just grabs up, and it's like 10 minutes of them going, yeah, he's a myth, he's a legend, and then all of a sudden they look up, and there he is, and they're like, holy shit, it's Batman! Fuck!
Yeah, he preys on fear. So then you get to the second movie, and he, in open daylight, attacks a car. Gets attacked by dogs, gets shot at, and he's like, you know what? I need bulletproof armor.
And Lucius is just like, why?
And it's like, you're a ninja, you son of a bitch.
You literally trained with the best ninja of all time.
You're not supposed to be seen.
You trained with the ninja of all ninjas. I'm gonna run at him. Oh, I'm Batman.
Yeah, you're not supposed... And that's my problem with The Dark Knight, and then even worse, The Dark Knight Rises, is because here's... Okay. So my biggest...
I want you to make that noise again sometime. That makes me happy.
So my big problem with The Dark Knight Rises is he finally gets his comeback against Bane.
We're listening, I swear.
Like, he finally gets his fight to fight Bane.
Yeah.
And like,
me, bro.
and he fights him, and then Bane kind of gets him back on the ropes. Like, he gets Bane down a little bit, and then Bane gets him back on the ropes. And what's supposed to happen is Batman, this is classic story structure, this is resolution, this is how we don't hate everything, but what's supposed to happen is Batman's supposed to come back and then take out Bane and knock him the fuck out, and then take him to justice, carry his luggy ass.
Batman.
But what happens is
Take me to justice,
Batman gets taken down, and it's that moment. It's about to surge to that moment where he comes back to kick ass, and then Catwoman fucking hits him with a car and kills him. And I'm like, did Catwoman just murder him? Like, Batman has now zero resolution. He is now not nearly as badass as Catwoman, who will just hit him with the bat. It was the Batmobile, the Bat Cycle. The fucking Bat Cycle that just hits him and kills him.
Dark Knight Rises was like, here, let's watch Batman cry for 3 hours.
And then you get the next, and then you get Talia al Ghul, who's the daughter of the best ninja ever,
using politics to kill people instead
and
of
she's
fists.
And she gets in a car accident, and she's like, and he's like, tell me where the nuke is, or whatever. And she's like, you'll never know.
Why don't we see her fight? She's the daughter of Ra's al Ghul.
And and it's just 3 hours of Batman having a broken back, getting to Gotham rather quick, but still, most of the movie is spent seeing him trying to climb a fucking hole. Like,
my favorite part of that movie is watching Bane break Batman's back. Because it looks good.
If you ever watch Robot Chicken, they have a DC Comics special, and like Bane comes in the first time and he breaks Batman's back, and Batman's like, oh my god, like, what kind of person just breaks a man's back? And then like later on, Batman rehabilitates himself, and he comes back and he's like, yeah, I'm Batman, I'm back, I'm ready to take on Bane, I'm ready. And then Bane just comes up and breaks his back again, and he's like, what the, a second time, what? And then like Batman trains and he comes back and he's like, finally, this is the time. I'm gonna destroy Bane. I'm back. I've healed my back. And then Bane just comes up and breaks his back a third time. And he's like, what kind of bastard breaks a man's back 3 fucking times?
Did you guys like the Arkham games?
Yeah, I loved them.
I like the first two. I didn't play much of the third.
Origins, I didn't like so much.
I was alright.
I never played Origins.
And I couldn't afford Arkham Knight because I didn't have a next-gen console, so Origins was a nice tie-over.
I liked Arkham Knight, but the twist in the game I called right away.
Yeah. We all know what it was.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I called it.
I never played it.
It's a butt-fucking prequel. Who do you think the new criminal is going to be?
Right.
Jason?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just... Oh. I just didn't... I don't know. I didn't get into the third one, but I like the first two because it's that idea of Batman being a ninja.
I liked Arkham City. I also found out that they programmed all of Gotham. They just didn't put it in the game for space constraints. And there's 2 areas in the map where if you cheat the physics of the game enough, you can actually glitch out of Arkham City, and then you're just in Gotham, and you can explore all of Gotham. It's like empty. There's a few cars and a couple people, but you can explore all the rest of Gotham. They put it in the game.
Huh. It makes me, like, Arkham City specifically makes me think of Spider-Man 2, but with Batman.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man 2 is, like, still the essential, like, it is the
favorite open world superhero game.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the Arkham games is the combat system. It's so good.
So fun.
That's why when I bought Shadows of Mordor on PC, I'd never played it.
I was
like, I wonder how this is. It's literally Orc Murder, but Arkham City style. That's the combat.
Oh my
I was
God,
like, this is so good.
Amazing. It's so where Batman is taking motherfuckers out. That guy who's just brutally murdering orcs.
And the combat is so
fantastic
fun.
Way.
They tell you you're supposed to be stealthy and like sneak up on them. I just run right into the middle of the orc camp, and I'm like, come at me, I'm down here.
See how many you can kill before they take you out.
Yeah,
I'm a rape, bitch.
Yeah, it's like,
it was so good, and I wanted to play the sequel, but then I heard there was microtransactions, and so I refused.
They've taken them out.
The only time
they took in specifically in that one, and that's not an EA game, that's a WB game.
The only time
all of the microtransactions.
The only time I'm fine with microtransactions,
shit.
if it's like League of Legends, your microtransactions are cosmetic. Overwatch, all your microtransactions, it's emotes, it's cosmetic. That's fine. But when they have microtransactions in, and it's like, buy these or you suck at the game, that's when I hate them. Like Battlefront 2.
Well, Battlefront 2 was the worst bastardization of it ever.
They backpedal hard. It was out for like a month, and then they were like, we're sorry.
All their backpedaling fucked them even, like, it made it even worse.
Yeah, because they're like, it's not okay. You can't just take it back and be forgiven.
Yeah, but even like the actual actions that they took, the consequences of those actions made it even worse on the game. Like the gameplay suffered even more.
I played Battlefront 2 with some friends when it came out. And I wanted to play as all the cool different generals, and it was taking forever to unlock them. Then we looked up online. It would take, like, if you're playing for free and not doing microtransactions, it would take like 9.5 hours of in-game time to get the currency to unlock one person. And there's like 16 people in the game, or however many there were. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the problem. But I think like enough people were like, fuck you, that like there's a little bit more, like they're gonna cut back a little.
It's because of that game that EA's stock took a huge hit. Like it went way down.
Buy a video game, and then instead of buying DLC or character packs, you would just unlock them periodically.
Remember when you would buy a game and it would say EA, and you were like, yes.
Remember cheat codes? Sorry.
San Andreas, man.
You know the only EA game that I love?
What?
Peggle. Release Peggle 2, you fuckers.
Peggle 2?
Peggle.
Peggle?
My favorite.
Peggle.
Peggle?
My favorite.
Do you not know what Peggle is?
Peggle.
Peggle. P-E-G-G-L-E.
It's fantastic.
Motherfucker.
It just sounds like you're saying bagel with a P.
Pretty much.
Bagel, peggle, bagel.
It's
bagel.
Peggle.
Peggle.
Yes, Peggle.
Peggle.
You're shooting balls at pegs, and it's fun.
I just see the pure innocence inside of you, like, it's fun! It's fun! Okay?
It's a good enough game. There's so many Peggle knockoffs now.
I showed you guys that I fucking smashed Peggle Blast without realizing it, right? According to my friend Drake, you know Drake.
Shout out to Drake! Drake's the one who's always...
Thank you, Drake. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, Drake's the one who listens all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, he shares our shit.
Drake! Oh, yeah,
I miss
he
you,
does.
buddy.
Drake, thank you for sharing.
He watches our shit. I'm pretty sure he shared it with his friends a few times. He watches it while he's on break at the McDonald's. Or he might be watching it now. I don't
Drake,
know.
are you gonna put a little nerdy in your pocket?
Fucking dare.
You're one of our 2 MVPs, Drake. You and Chris.
You
Chris, Drake, and my sister Heather.
Yes.
My girlfriend also tunes in every week as well.
Oh yeah, she does a really good commentary on like the quality.
Yeah, she gives us like creative notes and shit, and it's actually constructive, which is very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to talk to you more about stuff after this.
Okay.
We should probably actually stop here soon.
What time is it?
Like 1:20.
Boo.
Wow.
That did not feel like an hour and 20 minutes.
Right?
Damn.
This is what I love about these podcasts they don't feel as long when we do them.
Yeah.
I don't know if listening to them they feel as long.
God, I hope not.
But
I think we're having dynamic conversation, but other people might not.
Other people watching, look at these jagoffs.
Look at these fucking douchebags.
Chris forgot that one guy, the Chris Johnson guy.
Oh, yeah, you guys sound like idiots.
You sound like idiots.
Hey, man,
like, we're just 3 dudes talking like idiots.
I told my uncle,
I will give it. He apologized. He said, "I've been going through a really hard time. I'm sorry I took it out on you." He goes, "I hope I didn't lose your friendship." I mean, I'll say hi to him on the streets like I always would have, but I mean...
See, and I told my Uncle Travis about that from Nebraska. He's watched the first 2, and literally he's like, I don't know what his problem with it was. It was a blast. It's just 3 jagoffs talking about stuff they have in common. And I was like, yeah. Like,
just 3 dudes fucking talking.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about it.
I just think it's like... I mean, it's like, if it's not your thing, that's fine.
Then shut it off.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it. I just don't really, and you know what? If it was any random fucking jerk out there that was like, you guys sound like idiots, I'm cool. But like, if I know you and you're like, you sound like an idiot, And I'm like, we're just three dudes talking. Yeah, like idiots.
And then,
it's like, yeah. I don't think I want to.
I was reading through it, and for the first like 5 or 6 comments, it was just Jared going, "Yo, we're just having fun," and he just kept it going.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Trolls are trolls.
You broke the one rule of the internet.
But if you know a person, don't really go after them.
Dude, I know multiple trolls.
Hey man, I have like 300 different sweet ass memes about bait for trolls. Every time a troll is in the comments, I'm like, I got it.
But just don't.
Bait of most excellent quality.
Like, you really shouldn't. I mean, as a troll, you shouldn't openly be trolling the people that you know directly and like. You know. So I don't know. But whatever. But if you don't like it, that's fine. But if you do, you know, download us and put a little nerdy in your pocket.
On Google Play or iTunes.
Okay, so yeah, Google Play and iTunes. You can actually now subscribe. And then you got YouTube. We got approved after a month. Woo. Well, so I just actually like,
because we're the greatest.
So usually when you apply, it takes like a month on like iTunes. Mm-hmm. But I've already done this with the last podcast, and then with my other podcast I'm doing right now, The Faces of Grinnell.
So they expedited it, kind of?
Yeah, it was like iTunes just did it, and they actually emailed me this time, because last time they didn't email me. And I found the actual like page, and I went up and I found the link and everything. I was like, oh, so it's, I mean, links are in the description, guys. Share with your friends, you know, share us out. But
share with your grandma.
Yeah,
share with whoever.
I put a little bit of actual effort in last week, and like everything was like boom. Like 2 seconds. I was like, oh.
Guys, I actually tried and it went really well.
Yeah. Wow. It never happens.
Wow.
Once you do the hard stuff, it's not hard.
Faces of Grinnell, I put in like...
Isn't it funny
2
how life
weeks
works?
worth of effort, so I'm like ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, I did the Joey Polyeye interview and it went fucking crazy. Yeah. Like 400 people have watched that video, which in comparison to this video,
I was one of the 400.
Huge percent, and it's the most of it, and it just like went like the numbers I could just see.
I mean, it's Joey Polyeye.
Yeah, well,
of moderate Iowan fame.
Yeah, he's best pizza in Iowa.
They were voted the best pizza chain in Iowa.
When the fuck? Where they having pizza contest?
KCCI. KCCI. They had and this is the best thing I was talking to Joey.
It was like a fan vote.
I was like, how did this happen? And he goes, oh yeah, someone shared it with me on Facebook, and I just put it out there. I was like, hey guys, let them hear it, you know, and everyone took to it. And I said, so that's all you did? And he goes, well, I pushed it a little bit, you know, on the website and stuff. He goes, but people love stating their opinion on pizza. And I'm like, really? If you think about it, like, there's one universal truth in America. Like, one thing that, like, more than, like, okay, oh.
Jared, what?
I want an American vote. Before, which would you let go before? Would you let your guns go or your pizza go? Like, say they were going to take... You had to choose guns or pizza.
You bastard.
I'm a pacifist anyway. Guns are useless.
Yeah. But imagine the rest of the world.
So give me that damn pizza.
I can see somebody like, they'll never take my guns!
Wait, hold on. Is it stuffed crust pizza or regular crust pizza?
Or I'm taking your pizza and they'd be like, they'll never take my... What?
Man,
it's like we're either taking pizza or guns away.
Is it good pizza or is it like high school square pizza?
It's all of it.
Even the
pizza
NRA,
bagels, French bread pizza, shitty square pizza from the cafeteria in any goddamn state building ever.
All pizza, breakfast pizza.
Period.
Oof.
Even that weird deconstructed pizza they sell at fucking Fong's Pizza in Des Moines. It's got fucking peanut butter on it.
What?
It's weird, but it's delicious. Try it. It's not a plug.
This is not supported or advertised by Fong's Pizza, but Fong's Pizza, if you want to support or advertise, we will talk.
We will consider you because we truly
enjoy
your product.
Please contact me at deemjd@gmail.com. deemjd@gmail.com. Fong's Pizza. Hashtag Fong's Pizza for Jamp. Fong's Pizza for Jamp. Share it out. At Fong's Pizza for
Hashtag
Jamp.
absolutely no shame whatsoever.
Hashtag no shame.
Hashtag this is a joke. Please don't do that.
No, hashtag please do. Can you imagine opening up like sponsored by Fong's Pizza?
That'd be fucking ridiculous.
Can you imagine following himself like, not another nerdy podcast, no.
Just another nerdy podcast.
we have
sponsored by Fong's Pizza.
No, we have to get him at the end of a video. Put a little nerdy in your pocket.
Is there an actual Fong?
I think it's the family name.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's a guy named Fong who's gonna pop in and be like, just another nerdy podcast. Oh racist and shit? Like,
nutty in your pocket.
just put a nutty in your pocket.
Oh god, you
No.
assholes.
I don't think that's happening. I just don't think that's happening. I think that would just, at most, there'd be
Hashtag
some
stop racism.
unenthused pizza guy being like, just another dirty podcast. Sponsored by
Just-
Fong's Pizza.
The delivery guy that gets paid to drive all the way to Grinnell to deliver a pizza on a weekly basis because they sponsor our shows. Just like,
He just shows up baked as hell.
put a little nerdy in your pocket.
Put a
I
little
fucking
nerdy
guess.
in your pocket.
Here's your pizza, you douche.
Shit. Hey, you know what would be a good promotion?
Killing my buzz.
Call, like, so we would have to film like an episode someday in Newton, or just go to Newton and have them deliver it to us somewhere, but do Domino's and have them fucking write just another nerdy podcast on the box.
Oh, let's do it.
That's a decent idea. We just got back from Newton, but it's still.
My Uncle Mark delivers Domino's.
Oh, your Uncle Mark would do it with a smile, wouldn't he? See? Not a non-corrupt. You have that look like you want to say no. No, he wouldn't.
I would just tell my Uncle Mark, like, make this as ridiculous as possible.
Okay, guys. We're going to let you go. It's been about an hour and a half. We really appreciate you. Feel free to follow us on YouTube, on iTunes, and on Google Play, so you can download us into your pocket, or you can watch us live every Wednesday at noon. Yeah. Oh, share.
Please
share
do.
with your friends.
If you like hearing our moronic rantings, then please make other people hear our voices.
Yeah, we also have clips that I put out on Facebook, so if you want to follow us on the Facebook page and share those out with your friends.
Which I think don't give my commentary justice.
No?
Personally. Because there's a lot of it missing. Because I swear a lot.
Oh, I cut out
I know.
out the cussing
I
on
know.
Facebook specifically, because if we promote, like, if we pay for it, then someone might see it, and like, it might like get paid out to like for a kid to see it, and then there might be outrage. Where if you just like, it's this and that, and I'm like, it's 2 seconds to just like, because you can see the wave. I'm not going to explain this on podcast. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you.
Put a little
next
nerd in your
time.
pocket.
That's not the right button. Next time.